Multiverses is an action platformer fighting party game starring characters under the Warner Brothers company. How did this game come about? Well, it all started with Dragon Ball Evolution. That movie was such a piece of dog shit that Akira Toriyama came out of retirement just to spite us filthy gaijin. The new DBZ movies introduced Ultra Instinct Goku, and Mexicans started to rank DBZ power levels because in Mexico, Dragon Ball Z is the most popular religion. They then meme Ultra Instinct Shaggy as the most powerful being in the universe. This starts a small wave of Shaggy power level memes, and then 2 years later, unfunny people run the meme into the ground. During this time, people petitioned to have Shaggy guest star in Mortal Kombat 11, which Warner declines because tonally, that doesn't work. Warner then brainstorms on what game could Shaggy actually appear in, and that's the story on how Warner Brothers ripped off Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. To start Multiverses, you will need a Warner Brothers account, which is fine because I need one more goddamn account that can be hacked. The game then mocks you for being older than 22, which is odd coming from a game with Game of Thrones characters. I mean, the Iron Giant is clearly there for the millennial man-children. Speaking of, there's even a maturity filter that you can turn off in this game, which I imagine is just as effective as those warnings on adult sites. This is a reminder to never let your child use the internet unsupervised. The game is free to play, and there's a small rotation of free characters, much like Paladins. Each character costs gold to unlock, and the game gives you enough money at the beginning to unlock one. After that, they're not so generous. You can also pay real money for the costumes, which uses a different currency called Gleamium. You know, I'm really sick of these free-to-play games having two different currencies. It's like, here are your Gleep Gloops, and here's your USD currency. Guess which one I have zero of? At least Warner Brothers let me use the in-game gold to unlock the default Iron Giant. Warner Brothers, you're just too kind. The characters are where this game really shines. Warner Brothers probably has the best catalog of IPs next to Disney and Nintendo. Warner Brothers has so many great characters to choose from, like Gleep and Gloop. Out of all the corporate media conglomerates, I was always more of a AT&T Time Warner kid. The starting roster is pretty good, with old and new iconic characters. And Steven Universe. I imagine they started with 2 Adventure Time and Steven Universe characters so that people can get excited for literally any other Cartoon Network character. The developers know what they're doing, and they want to keep that hype train going. Just think, dude. So many reaction videos. The developers did a good job of bringing the character's personality into the game. There's all these voice lines for unique character interactions, which is what you want in a crossover. It makes me wonder what kind of unique dialogue we can get in the future.
You're into this? You're black. You sound black. Where are you from?
There's a lot of love put into the moves as well, with little references that work in a party game while also staying true to the character. It made it hard to decide who I was going to unlock first. Do I go with the Iron Giant, a character from one of my favorite movies that the developers kept true to his character by making his moves accidents, even showing that he feels bad when he has to fight back? Or do I go with Harley Quinn? Because she's hot. I decided to go with Harley first since her air mobility is insane. She's sort of a mixture of Zero Suit Samus and Solid Snake. Before Season 1 started, there were mods that could completely ruin your experience. Unfortunately, mods are now banned, which is understandable since the game makes its money off of cosmetics. But where will the fat fetishists go now? While the characters are full of imagination, the stages are bland as hell. Besides the Batcave, everything just feels generic. Like the Haunted Mansion doesn't really have anything that Scooby-Doo about it. It just seems like a ripoff of the Luigi's Mansion stage. The easiest way to liven up these stages is to just put some shit in the background. It's a Warner Brothers crossover game. Put some other characters in the background doing anything. The game has 1v1, 2v2, 4-player free-for-all, and nothing else. No 3-player games, no 1v3, no stocks, no real customization whatsoever. You can fight with bots, but you still need to be online to do that. The only mode that's offline in this game is the training lab, which Warner was kind enough to let you try all the characters before unlocking them. They're adding an arcade mode and a ranked mode, but it's still pretty barren. I hope the arcade mode at least has a cool boss, because there are so many possibilities when it comes to final bosses. At the very least, have some fun little arcade endings. The game itself is pretty fun. Hits feel satisfying, and it's fun to figure out the bread and butter combos for each character. The game is designed around 2v2, and that's where it's most fun. 1v1s can feel pretty one-sided, and free-for-all is just sad. Since each character only has 8 moves, it's pretty easy to pick up and play. However, there is no blocking or grabs, just dodging. This does make the game kind of button mashy, since you can keep pressing the dodge button when you're in a combo. This actually isn't a bad strategy, since the hit stun for basic combos aren't consistent for each character. If you want to learn the more advanced techniques of the game, there is the advanced tutorial. Whoa. However, during the beta, one tutorial that teaches one of the most important aspects of recovery wasn't programmed properly, and I heard Wonder Woman die about 20 times before I realized it was actually broken. Luckily they fixed this, but I think it's funny that they fucked up a tutorial. This tutorial teaches you how to control your direction, but not that you can actually break your momentum. That's something I had to figure out myself. In the game's first rotation of free characters, they made 2 of the best ones available for peasants, Superman and Finn. Let's talk about Finn, because he showcases a lot of the problems Multiverses has, on top of just being a broken character. So despite being really fast, Finn hits hard, and he isn't a lightweight. So it's easy for him to KO, and it's hard to KO him. Harley may be fast, but she has to earn her damage, and she gets knocked around really easily. Finn's attacks almost always have priority over other attacks, which is a problem throughout the whole game. It's really unclear when you can dodge out of a combo, which attacks have priority, and what the fuck the hitboxes are. Luckily, the developers listened, and they nerfed Finn hard for the first season, so now he's just a good character. What a bitch. I used to think this game was unbalanced, but then I realized there is no balance. Besides Finn being OP, nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about with this game, including myself. Everyone said Wonder Woman sucked, but she friggin' won Evo. Honestly, it's too early in the game to overbalance everything, and with Finn nerfed, everyone just has to shut up and get good. I applaud the devs for being so involved with the community, but every time they try to balance the game, new problems pop up. I just hope that the devs can keep balancing characters without taking away what makes them fun. You wouldn't want to nerf a character so hard that they're no longer fun to play. That would be stupid. Some more critiques. I don't like how you respawn on stage. You just appear and you have like half a second of invincibility. I don't even get a chance for a comeback and just get my ass kicked again. The game has attack decay, where doing the same move makes it weaker. But it's way too forgiving, and people still spam the same moves over and over again. I don't hate Shaggy players. I just hate that they do the same fucking Falcon kick all the fucking time. Luckily, the devs nerfed that too, as well as fixing blatantly broken shit like Batman killing himself with his grappling hook.
Fun.
I killed myself! Did you see that? Did you see that?
WB Games has something with a lot of potential here, and they should go beyond just adding new characters and stages. Customization, event matches, bosses, minigames, these are little things that do wonders at making people stay. Overall, Multiverses is a fun game that's pretty bare bones. If the developers have a steady stream of iconic characters, better stages, fun modes, and balancing, you will have a fun game that I still won't spend any real money on. Well done, Warner. You made a good crossover with all your IPs, and you just had to lose millions of dollars. Twice. The game is free to play, so if it sounds interesting, then just fucking try it. Now, should you pay $40 to unlock all the characters? No. Just use the free rotation of characters and then try out everyone in the lab. You get enough money early on for at least 2 characters, so pick who you like playing and then just unlock more as you go. I would hoard your gold for a bit until they have more characters, because the battle pass is pretty predatory. They already announced Rick, Black Adam, and my boy Stripe, but they just announced them in the title screen art and a tweet. Morty got a trailer, but all of his lines are reused from the show because Justin Roiland was too busy. Hopefully they add unique voice lines in the future, because if they don't, then this shit is weak, dude. Also, they announced all of these modes for Season 1, but none of them released when the season started. Kinda kills a bit of the excitement, and it seems that the hype train left the station a bit early. This game is a chaotic mess. I love it. 7 out of 10. It's too early to give this game a legit score, but I really can't wait to see what this game will be like in about a year and a half or longer. Even if there's no one in the roster you like right now, in this catalog, there's bound to be at least one character that you love. Like Shmoo!